All right. Well, good evening, guys. Hey, it's Mark Pyers, home-based business tax coach and wealth coach, the CEO and founder of the Academy of Financial Education. And as always, on behalf of myself and my beautiful wife and business partner, Mrs. Lavita Pyers, the CFO of the Academy of Financial Education, we wish each and every one of you prosperity because you truly deserve it, financial freedom from the current system of debt, financial freedom from the plantation of taxation, and financial freedom from being solely dependent on limited controlled income working on a plantation of big corporations where you spend 40 hours a week or more for 40 years of your life, hoping to retire on 40% of what you know you're struggling to live on today. And so, guys, look, this presentation, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet and to the point, but I got to jump on the screen. I really have to jump on the screen. So I'm not going to go full screen. I'm just going to go small tonight. You want to share this one out. If you've been watching me for any time, or maybe you followed me on Facebook, or maybe you've looked at some of my videos, you know that I am a to the point type of guy. Okay, I'm just straight to the point. Okay, there's no chaser. This is not checkers. This is chess. This is when you think beyond what you see in front of you. Okay, and I'm going to tell you tonight, I had to do this. I just recorded a video. I put it on YouTube. If you guys are watching me on YouTube, that's currently already within 2 hours, 73 views on that video. I don't know how many shares. I didn't see any comments, so unfortunately, I don't know if people are getting the true value of the information that I share. But I can tell you this. I watched that video, even though I'm the one that recorded that video, even though I'm the one that put that content out in the atmosphere. I can tell you this, that watching that information without having distractions in my mind, without having self-conversations in my mind, that video that I just put on my YouTube station could make anyone rich. I believe it could truly make you rich. Now, I'm not talking about in the form of just monetary value for yourself. I'm talking about giving you the ability to help other people free themselves truly from the plantation of taxation. And the only reason that the masses are suffering from being penalized through taxation is because of lack of financial education. Now, I said I wasn't going to get on here and do all that tonight, but I got to share something with you guys. I truly believe that we are in a position to truly change families' lives financially. I truly believe that. And I'm going to share that with you. I mean, without a doubt in my mind, I would bet the farm on this. And guess what? Even if you're wrong, there's a saying by Les Brown. He says, shoot for the stars or shoot for the moon. And if you fail, at least you'll land among the stars. I truly believe that what I'm going to share with you is not hype. It doesn't require any hype. The foundation in which it's set on is unshakable. It's documented. And the only thing missing is whether or not you can believe. Is whether or not you can believe. If you've ever hoped for a different economic reality, let me ask the question. For those of you that are familiar or aware of Bitcoin, in fact, let me do this. Let me get me off the screen because I'm not the message here. Let me bring up a chart really quick. Okay, hold on 1 minute. Okay, so hopefully you guys are watching this. Now, I know some of you are going to watch this and some of you are going to say, oh my God, he's going to talk about cryptocurrency. He's going to talk about Bitcoin. I paused for a reason because I wanted you to process those thoughts in your mind. Because what I'm going to share with you has made a lot of people very wealthy. And on the flip side, it has left a lot of people in financial bondage, okay? So at this point, it doesn't matter what your opinions are, my opinions are about cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter. Why? Because there's a history. And we're going to talk about that history, okay? So I typed in, what is the value of Bitcoin, or what was the value of Bitcoin in 2009? Well, why 2009? Because 2009 is the year that Bitcoin was introduced to the world. Now, I do have to jump on the screen really quick, okay? Because I'm going to give you my opinion. And again, this is just my opinion. It's not facts, but it's my opinion. I truly believe that cryptocurrency, I don't even know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I truly believe that cryptocurrency was created by the United States government. Try that on for your intellectual thinking. I believe that cryptocurrency was created by the wealthiest central bankers that knows that our fiat currency, our US dollar, is facing its last days. If you know anything about history of a fiat currency, here's what you'll know. That just in the last 100 plus years, there's been over 600 fiat currency. What is a fiat currency, Mark? A fiat currency is a currency created by governments, not backed by anything. It's not backed up by silver. It's not backed up by gold. It's not backed up by creating jobs. It's not backed up by creating products and exporting products. It's not backed up by anything but the faith and the belief of the people that are willing to accept it. Over 600 currencies. And here's their track record. They all, between the alphabet letter A and the alphabet letter B, we never even got to see, they all have collapsed 100% to zero. Last country known on record today that this happened to, in fact, maybe it's not the last country, because Venezuela is going through it right now as we talk. Hyperinflation, where people can't put food on the table. See, this is much bigger than cryptocurrency. Get yourself out of the way, because your small thinking of what you've been taught and educated on, I'm telling you right now, if you're thinking that what you know, if you're thinking that what you've been taught, what you went to the educational system and learned is the truth, my friend, you are deeply into the matrix. Thank you, Bill Gates, for creating the internet. The Bible says my people perish from the lack of knowledge. The Bible, nowhere in the Bible, in the entire Bible, I don't care what version you read, nowhere in the Bible does it ever state that my people perish from a lack of wealth. My people perish from a lack of cars. My people perish from the lack of education. The Bible says that my people are destroyed from the lack of knowledge. And so just because you're going to hear something tonight that your mother didn't know, your father didn't know, your grandparents didn't know, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just step out of your inner thoughts for a moment. And I want you to ask yourself this question. if you had one choice, if you had that little lamp, that little genie lamp, and you could rub on the lamp, and the three wishes that you could be granted would be, I would trade my lifestyle for my parents' lifestyle. I would trade my lifestyle for my grandparents' lifestyle, or I would trade my lifestyle for Warren Buffett lifestyle, Mark Zuckerberg lifestyle, Oprah Winfrey's lifestyle. I would much rather have wealth than to go and live the lifestyle of the people who trained me to be who I am. Because see, they only had what they had. They only knew what they knew. Some of y'all saying, where the hell is this guy going? I want you guys to listen. I want you to listen with the two ears. See, God gave us two ears for a reason. He gave us two ears and he gave us one mouth. He gave us two eyes. He gave us one mouth. He gave you two ears because he knew that you would have to hear the truth twice. He gave you two eyes because he knew you would have to see the truth twice. And so let me show you the truth. In 2008, the American people suffered from what we all know to be the housing crash and the banking crash. Let me ask you a question. Do you truly believe, do you really believe that the Federal Reserve that operates and controls the banking system did not know that all of a sudden, got to get back, that all of a sudden America got rich? Do you truly believe that the Federal Reserve, which is not federal, and I'm not even going to get into that presentation, okay, because it's all in front of you. You ever heard that terminology? If it was a snake, it would have bit you. You got Google. Go Google it. The Federal Reserve is not federal. And they say it often on national TV. But because we aren't informed, because we have been enslaved in our minds, see, it's called modern day enslavement. They use the same principles that they used 200 years ago to enslave particular ethnic groups. But guess what? The wealthy don't see color. The only color the wealthy sees is green. They understand two G's, greed and green. That's all they understand. And so somehow they were able to convince an entire, not only an entire nation, but then an entire world to follow an enslavement mentality. What is that enslavement mentality? Do as I tell you, follow my instructions, and I will give you housing, food, and comfort. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the American dream. Let me lay my platform of why I know what I know. I have been a tax coach. I have been a tax preparer for over 27 years. I have over 15,000 direct training hours directly from the IRS, the entity that many of you are afraid of. I can tell you something about yourself that you didn't think I knew, and that's this, is that you don't like paying taxes. How do I know that? How do I know that? Because after 27 years of being a tax preparer by choice, but more importantly, embedding my head. See, I had to go into the rabbit hole to realize that we were living in the matrix. See, we were taught to be afraid of the IRS when the IRS had all of the information on how to get financially free from the plantation of taxation right on their website. If it was a snake, it would have bit you. See, but you were too busy thinking that people cared more about you than they cared about taking what you had. That you said, well, Mark, you know what? I don't believe that, because if that was true, everybody would know that. Well, let me ask you a question. Why is it that Facebook made $1.2 billion? Let me say it again. Why is it that Facebook made $1.2 billion with a B dollars, and they owed 0 federal taxes and 0 state taxes, and I have clients that made $65,000, and they're a single individual, and they've lost $13,000 in federal taxes? Why is that? Why is it that when you go get a higher paying job because you went and got into debt and got yourself a degree or maybe a second degree, and now you go from earning $65,000 to $100,000, why is it that your tax bracket goes from paying 25% now to paying 29 or 30% because now you're making more money? But ExxonMobil made $1 billion last year and owed 0 in federal taxes, 0 in state taxes. How is it that someone or some company can earn $1.2 billion, owe 0 in federal, 0 in state, and here you go, to add insult to injury, the government gave Facebook a check for over $400 million.